Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. So, how are you this morning? I hope everything's going well. This coffee is going down perfectly this morning. Let me have another sip here and I'll get moving and grooving for you. Okay. Well, so it's been an eventful couple of days this week. We've had some pretty good conversations. I've had a few people reach out to me with some requests for information. So I am always happy to help. I've said that before. So, sorry, excuse me. I am just watching here. Hopefully this is coming up live over here. It looks like it's still just showing. Oops. Sorry. Clicking on too many things here. So I record in one program and then watch, or it streams to another. So I just wanted to make sure that that was connecting. So let me close that so I'm not distracted by myself over on the other screen. So I have started doing the streaming now. So if you have questions and I don't get right to those, I'll probably reply afterwards because I can't always watch all the different things. Okay, anyway, so let's get going today. So I hope everyone's doing well. We had a little bit of storm yesterday. You know, it's that time in Florida. We're going to be having storms every afternoon. So always be safe. Make sure if you've got umbrellas and all those things, you keep those secured because the wind picks up in a minute here, y'all, like that. So I got home yesterday afternoon and I decided I would try to make buttermilk biscuits. And now looking back, I thought I didn't do them right. But looking back, I did do them right. They did turn out the way they were supposed to. They were good. They did remind me of my great aunts. I don't know how many of you guys were fortunate enough to grow up with older relatives, but when I was a kid, my mom had to work a lot. She worked at the hospital. She was an x-ray tech. And so I would stay a lot with my great aunts. And up until she passed away, my great grandmother. And those ladies, you know, they were born in the early 1900s. They cooked every day, y'all. Every day. I was talking to my mom about it the other day. And her name was Desi May, and we called her Deck, D-E-C-K. I don't know why. I think they had, if I remember correctly, they had one brother who had a little bit of a speech impediment, so he couldn't say some of the names. And like my other great aunt, they were all sisters, my great grandmother's sisters, and my other aunt, the two of them lived together. Neither one of them ever got married. They always called them the old spinsters of the family. And the one, they wanted a boy, and they didn't get a boy. She was a girl, so they named her after her dad, John. So her name was Johnny Gladys, and we called her John D. I grew up with those ladies on Redbud Street in Bennettsville, South Carolina. But anyway, these ladies would cook every day. So the oldest one never worked. She, throughout her life, she was the one that the family chose to stay home. And she cooked and cleaned her whole life, y'all. That was her job. So whenever the family got home from work, whether it would be the field or the plant or the dairy farm, I lived in a very agricultural area. I grew up there. She would have lunch on the table every day and supper on the table every night. We called it supper where I'm from. And on Sunday, lunch was dinner, Sunday dinner. So she would get up. So the one sister, John D., she would get up in the mornings and make breakfast. And my other aunt, Dec, or Desi May, she would get up And I mean, they'd both be up early. Nobody slept past 7 o'clock in that house. I think that's part of the reason I never sleep past 7 o'clock. And anyway, so she would make lunch, and lunch would always be meat, potato, and vegetable, right? So you would always have that. And she would make a fresh pan of biscuits every day at lunch. And then for dinner or supper, you would have whatever leftover biscuits, and they would usually make breakfast again, eggs and bacon, and you'd have your leftover biscuits. Because they were, as long as I knew them, they were always old. I guess they must have been, because they both passed away in their late 80s. So, and I was already an adult. So they must have been in their late 60s or 70s, which is weird because now, to me, 60, I mean, especially the closer I get to it, 60 is not old. But if you think about it, I was probably 20-ish when the first one passed. So they must have at least been 60, but they seemed a lot older. Anyway, so that just made me think of them last night because the biscuits turned out a lot like theirs, except the only difference is my aunt always would pat the biscuit down. So they'd have little ridges on the top. I always called them naughty biscuits. Anyway, so that's a little story about my life. Hopefully you enjoyed that. All right, let's talk a little bit. I want to show you our statistics for this month. So May, for those of you that have been following, and I probably should stop saying this every time, but we always do our numbers in arrears, right? They're the last month's numbers that we talk about this month. So don't believe the hype, y'all. Sales were up last month compared to March, and also down a little bit compared to May of 2022. But you have to think of everything in perspective. May of 2022, what was happening? We were still in that 2% interest rate craze, and everybody that could get approved was buying homes. And what really happened, y'all, and I watched another podcast on this, is investors were buying up a lot of homes. Because think about it, if you want to invest, you don't want to put all your money into a property. You want to use somebody else's money. So when that interest rate was super low, investors were taking advantage of it and buying up properties left and right. So that's what was really happening. You still had people buying homes for themselves as well. But I would love to see some statistics on what the second home market and second home market and investment market was. But anyway, so sales were up. One more thing before I move on. Don't watch national news and think that's what happens or is happening in your market. Every market, or we call them micro markets, so you have the overall market, which is what we're talking about right now, the overall market of Pensacola. Then you have your micro market. So every neighborhood, every area has its own market within that market. So if you're interested in talking about what your neighborhood's doing, please let me know. I always like to look up the numbers and talk about it. For any of my neighbors that watch this, I'm just getting ready to, I'm actually waiting on marketing to approve my design. And then I'm going to be sending out, I want to go around and knock on doors because I want to meet people in my neighborhood. Just to meet people, but also I want people to know I'm an agent. I think there's like 6 homes in here for sale right now, and none of them have my face on the sign. So I'm not going to be hurt by that. It's my fault. I haven't been out there knocking on doors. I've lived here almost a year now. But anyway, I'm going to send this out to my neighborhood and let people know what's happening in our neighborhood, because you want to know what the value of your home is compared to the overall market. So sales are up 22%, which is amazing. So we've got buyers circling back around. We've had a little dip this last week, but April things did pick up. And, I've been telling you guys that days on market, it's taking about 50 days to sell a house. So you can see here, I was only off by a few days. 45 days it's taken to sell a house right now. So people are starting to panic because of that, because for 2 years, it's taken a week. Our days on market average like 7 or 14 days, which is unheard of. So if your house takes a little while to sell, that's perfectly normal. We're getting back into, or we are in, a more normalized market. We had 993 homes sold in the month of May. Think about that. There's 3,000 realtors here. So there's a lot of people out there not working. Thank God I was selling some. And I appreciate all you guys who support me and refer me to other people, because that's really what my business is built on. I do, of course, I get Zillow calls and all that crazy stuff. So I do invest in that. But the majority of my business is referrals and word of mouth. So if you know anybody, please tell them about me. I've seen people like Michael in my neighborhood has been sharing my name, Tammy in my neighborhood, Tara in my neighborhood. So I really appreciate that, because again, that is what puts the food on my table, when people let other people know about me. So then our average sold price. So y'all, Pensacola is no longer a $150,000 home. Does that mean you can't get one? No, it doesn't. We still have homes on the market here under $200,000, but you have to be realistic. The home under $200,000 is not going to be a beautiful, fully remodeled, beautiful yard, beautiful neighborhood type of home. So our home prices are going up. They're not going down. So don't believe the hype when you say, well, I'm just going to wait for the prices to drop. Prices aren't dropping. Now, here's what's happening though, because some of you may say, well, I watch Zillow and I see prices drop every day. Yes, that goes back to the days on market of 45 days, because everyone is so accustomed to homes selling in a week that homeowners as well as realtors are going, oh my God, what's happening? I got this price too high. Here's the thing. You keep dropping the price, it will sell. You will eventually get to the price that somebody's going to buy it. With the interest rates the way they are right now, you can see a definite correlation between days on market and interest rates. In my opinion, this is the House of Wayne talking. This is not, I'm not reading something from realtor.com or anything, but in my opinion, as the interest rates go up, you can see the days on market go up, because people are taking their time. They want to make sure if they're getting into a $2,000 a month mortgage that they really love that house. Now, what I think is going to happen is eventually, as interest rates come down, you're going to see a lot of people refinance, but you're also going to see people go, you know what? The interest rates have dropped. I'm not 100% happy with this house. Let's just sell it and then buy a new house with a lower payment. So that's my opinion. And you can see now that we've got about 1,700 homes on the market, 2,500 total, and it says active and contingent. So I don't have my calculator out, but let me see. I'm going to do that math real quick just because I'm nosy now. So if you've got 2,574 on the market, 1,768 of those are active. So that means there's 800 homes right now under contract. So that is what our market looks like in Pensacola. I hope I didn't bore you too much with that. That is what I look at all the time. Not only when it comes out monthly. Oh, I'm shaking my desk. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So I've got this huge monitor up here so that when I'm home, my laptop plugs in. And then I have a huge monitor so I can see. And so I can see without my glasses if I need to. But anyway, so I look at those numbers all the time. I don't look at them daily, because if any of you out there are statisticians, you know what I'm talking about, statistics. If you're into statistics, you don't want to look at them every day. You need them to build up a little bit so you can see that trend. So a few times a month, I look at that. I run the numbers myself. And then every month, our association, and shout out and thank you to the Pensacola Association of Realtors, they give us those numbers. So what does all this mean to you in a nutshell, right? If we sum it all up, what it means is the market is still moving here in Pensacola. It is not moving as quickly as it did a year ago, but it is still moving. It's not unusually long. 45 days really in the grand scheme of things is not long. But here's what I want you to think about. If let's just use our fellow active duty folks. If you know you're going to PCS in 6 months, we need to start working on your house right now. We don't need to put it on the market right now, but let's clean it up. Let's go ahead and basically, just neutralize it, right? You want to start taking down your photos and patching holes and things like that, leaving up some generic artwork. I don't find that people mind so much personal photos. However, if you're one of those people that has a whole wall of your personal photos, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and take those down so that it opens up and shows that wall and makes it look larger. Maybe just put a couple of photos on there. But let's go ahead and start getting your home ready now, because if you know you have to leave in a certain amount of time, then let's go ahead and start marketing your home as soon as we can. Well, let me back up. Not marketing. Let's start getting it ready. Curb appeal, cleaning up the front yard, cleaning up the backyard, throwing away anything. You know, I always say, how do homes get in this situation? But guys, I know. I mean, I've lived in places less than 5 years, and when I get ready to move, I'm like, oh my God, where did I get all this crap? So go ahead and start going through your things. Donate things. Now is a good time to be donating things, and make sure you keep those receipts for your tax records. But let's go ahead and clear things out. You know, just get it ready so that when I show up with my handy dandy little, here's what you're going to do to sell your home with me, we're ready to go. We don't have to wait another 2 months for you to declutter the garage. That's another thing. I usually tell people, you know what, a garage is a garage. It's not a big deal. However, with the market we're getting into right now, think about if you go on a first date, right? You could be going on a first date. Let's talk to the men out there. You could be going, or ladies, whoever. I don't judge, whatever. You could be going on a date with Cindy Crawford, right? Now, maybe she's not everybody's thing, but Cindy Crawford was a big, you know, beautiful lady from my era that everybody was in love with. So you're going on a date with Cindy Crawford. You don't know it's Cindy Crawford because it's a blind date. Your cousin Sue set you up with her. Now, we all know what Cindy Crawford looks like, right? We all know how beautiful she is. You show up for your first date with Cindy Crawford, and she literally just woke up, got out of bed, threw on, you know, a ratty t-shirt, maybe some sweatpants, flip-flops, you know, hair up. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. I know that's some people's things, but here's what I'm saying. You know what she looks like normally, right? Then she shows up not looking like that. You don't know this already, but I'm just saying hypothetically, Lord, y'all, I am going down a rabbit hole. Anyway, the point being, first impressions are everything. I don't know. Just ignore me today. It's still early, but I hope you were kind of connecting those dots of where I was going. You want, just like a blind date, if you're looking for a partner or whatever, you want to put your best foot forward, right? Now, some of you may be saying, no, I want them to see me at my worst, because if they like me then, they're going to love me when I take a shower. But that's not how it works with buying homes and selling homes. You want to make sure that people come in and that house is ready to go. Get rid of any smells. Y'all, I love my animals. I don't really smell them, but I'm sure when people walk in that don't have animals, they probably smell them. Let me make sure I'm still live here because somebody was texting me, so I wanted to make sure. Anyway, point being, go ahead and start working on your house now because the market is moving a little slower. Not that slow, but a little slower. You know, we're fortunate in this area that we're on the best places to live list now. We also have a very large military presence, so active duty people are moving in and out all the time, and that creates a little bit of a market within the market for us as well. So, you know, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, moving and grooving here in Pensacola, but be aware. Think about those numbers I talked to you about, and also watch what your neighborhood's doing. If you want me to watch your neighborhood for you, send me your address. I promise I won't harass you. I will send you a letter, and I will send you an update and say, hey, based on my numbers, here's what your home is worth. Here's what your neighborhood's worth. What I'm starting to see, and I'm really a little disappointed because it's going to happen in my neighborhood, somebody's about to list a house way below market value. Now, I don't know their personal situation. Maybe they need to sell quickly. But what that does is now, let's say I wanted to sell my house, and this house is very similar to my house. Now, what they're listing their house for is $50,000 under what I paid for my house last year. guess what? That's going to be a comp. If you followed these, I talked about appraisals earlier in the series. An appraiser is going to pull that comp and look at mine and go, why do you want so much for yours when the same house sold for $50,000 less? So pay attention to those things. It does matter. That matters more than a single wide trailer being built beside your house. Everybody always says, oh, well, if they put a trailer in here, it's going to ruin my property value. If they don't cut their grass, it's going to ruin my property value. No. It may make somebody go, ooh, I don't know if I want to live beside somebody that doesn't cut their grass. What's going to hurt your home value is when people list their homes really low. They get into a situation, they need to sell it quickly, and they're like, hey, let's just sell this thing, get it done. So pay attention to those things. And again, I can help you with that, or if you're already working with a realtor, they can help you with that. I'm going to tell you what, if you call, like you watch this and you're like, you know what, I'm going to call Tammy Sue. She's been my realtor for years, and I'm going to tell her I want her to start telling me what my neighborhood's worth. Tammy Sue is going to be like, hallelujah, praise Jesus. All those prayers and candles I lit have paid off, because we love it when people call us and ask for our help, because that means you think we're a market expert, and I love that. And hopefully it means when you're ready to sell, you're going to think of us, or when your neighbor's ready to sell, you're going to tell them about us. Again, I run my business off of referrals. That's the biggest part of my business. So I appreciate those of you that send my name out to the universe. I really appreciate it. It keeps me in coffee and my Dolly Parton stuff. All right, so I've been rambling on here now. How long? For 22 minutes, y'all. I apologize. These are meant to be short and sweet, 5 to 10 minutes. So I need to get myself in check. Have a great day. If you need me, call me. I'm always happy to help. Again, even if you just want to know some of the data, you let me know. I'm going to be starting my newsletter, sending it out, but I'm also going to make it electronic. So if you want to be on that list, I'm going to post, not right now, I'm going to wait until it's ready, because I don't want to post it and then people are like, I didn't get anything. I'm going to post a sign up on my Facebook. I'll put it on my personal page and my business page. So if you want that information, you can always sign up there and just watch it. I'm going to try and send it out every 2 weeks. That's the plan. Just gives people, again, the numbers won't change that much in 2 weeks, but some of the information will change. So have a great day. Get out there, do something fun today. Smile. It increases your face value, as they say. Get out there, have a good day. And if you need me, call me. And always remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, always, always be you. And I will see you tomorrow.